Close your eyes and step into the world of your imagination. In that place, you are limitless. You are not bound by the current circumstances of your life. You are free to shape and mold them as you desire. Picture yourself as a millionaire. Not someday, not in the distant future, but now. Feel it deeply in your bones, the security, the freedom, the confidence of someone who knows that wealth flows abundantly to them. To act like a millionaire, you must first think and feel like one. Do not wish for wealth. Do not long for it. Instead, step boldly into the role. The moment you assume the feeling of being wealthy, the transformation begins. Your subconscious mind accepts this as truth, and life will conspire to bring about this assumption in visible, tangible ways. When you walk as a person who has already achieved financial success. When you speak from a place of assurance and confidence. Let your thoughts reflect abundance, not limitation. Even in moments where your outer world shows no sign of the wealth you desire, do not waver. Hold firm to the image of yourself as prosperous. Your outer world is merely a reflection of your inner state. Change the inside, and the outside must follow. It is not about waiting for money to appear to feel rich. The feeling comes first, and then the money. When you live in the end, when you feel the relief, joy, and gratitude of already being a millionaire, you open the doors to receiving that reality. The longer you hold this feeling, the more the universe bends to make it true. Keep your mind filled with thoughts of abundance, even in the face of doubt or fear. When those lower thoughts try to creep in, remind yourself, I am already wealthy. I am already free. Your words and thoughts shape the conditions of your life. Inner conversations are powerful, for they set the stage for outer manifestations. Think and feel as a millionaire would. See opportunities where others see obstacles. Give generously, for a millionaire is not afraid of lack. Carry yourself with the dignity and assurance of one who knows their worth. As you persist in this new state of mind, the world will reflect it back to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. The secret lies not in effort, but in feeling. Feel as though you are already the person you wish to be. Persist in that feeling, and watch how your world transforms. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you attract by embodying the state of wealth in your mind, your heart, and your actions. Imagination is the creative force behind everything we experience in life. It is the most powerful tool at our disposal, allowing us to shape our reality from within. To act like a millionaire, you must first recognize that wealth, like all things, originates in your mind. Your imagination is the fertile soil in which you plant the seeds of your future. If you can vividly imagine yourself as wealthy, truly see, feel, and experience it within, then you are already halfway to manifesting it in the physical world. Everything you see in your life right now is the result of past imaginations, whether you are aware of it or not. The key is to consciously harness this power. In your imagination, there are no limitations. You are not restricted by your current bank balance, debts, or circumstances. When you close your eyes and visualize yourself as a millionaire, you free yourself from the confines of the present moment. You step into a higher dimension of possibility where anything is achievable. In this mental realm, you are the architect of your life. You are not merely reacting to the world around you, you are actively creating it. Every time you imagine yourself in possession of the wealth you desire, you are building that reality brick by brick. The external world is simply a mirror of your inner state, and the reflection it gives is shaped by the thoughts and images you hold in your imagination. Your imagination should not be a fleeting moment of wishful thinking. It must become a deeply felt experience, as real as anything you perceive with your senses. When you imagine yourself living the life of a millionaire, it is not enough to see the image, you must feel the emotions that accompany it. Feel the joy, the freedom, and the peace that come with financial abundance. These feelings, generated in your imagination, are the raw material from which your future is made. The more vividly and consistently you engage in this inner vision, the more quickly it will manifest in your outer world. To live from the end means to occupy the state of your wish already fulfilled. You must not merely desire to be a millionaire, you must live as if you are one now, internally. This is a subtle but profound shift in perspective. Most people live in a state of longing. They wish for things they believe they do not yet possess. However, the act of wishing keeps them in a state of lack. By desiring something, you are confirming to yourself and to the universe that you do not have it. Instead, the secret to manifesting wealth is to behave as though you have already achieved it. When you live from the end, you embody the state of having what you want, even before it appears in the physical world. This requires a deep level of faith and trust in the process. It is not about pretending or faking it. It is about genuinely feeling that the wealth you seek is already yours. You walk, talk, and think as if you are already a millionaire. In doing so, you send a powerful signal to your subconscious mind, which begins to reshape your thoughts, actions, and circumstances to align with this new reality. The universe responds to the energy you emit. If you are vibrating at the frequency of already having wealth, it has no choice but to bring circumstances into your life that reflect that state. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law of nature. The more consistently you can dwell in the state of being a millionaire, the more quickly that state will become your physical reality. But you live from the end. You are no longer trying to create wealth. You are simply allowing the wealth that already exists in your inner world to materialize in the outer world. Wealth is first and foremost a state of mind. It is not merely the accumulation of money, but a way of thinking and perceiving the world. To act like a millionaire, you must assume the mindset of wealth. This means adopting the thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes of someone who already possesses financial abundance. The assumption of wealth is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. If you believe you are wealthy, the universe will mirror that belief back to you in the form of financial opportunities, resources, and material wealth. The assumption of wealth is not about deluding yourself or ignoring your current financial reality. Rather, it is about choosing to focus on the possibility of wealth rather than the limitations of your current situation. When you assume the state of wealth, you are telling your subconscious mind that this is who you are now. Your thoughts begin to align with this new identity, and your actions naturally follow. You begin to make decisions from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You see opportunities where others see obstacles, and you attract the right people and circumstances into your life to support your new reality. It is important to note that the assumption of wealth must be unwavering. Doubt and fear will inevitably arise, but you must persist in your belief that you are already wealthy. The more you can hold this assumption in your mind, the more it will solidify in your subconscious, and the faster it will manifest in your external world. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you assume. And once you assume it, everything in your life begins to shift to match that assumption. Your thoughts create your reality, and by assuming the state of wealth, you are laying the foundation for a life of abundance. The key is to consistently dwell in this state, regardless of what your outer world may currently show. If you can do this, the wealth you desire will inevitably come to you, because it already exists within you. Living from the end is a powerful principle that reshapes the way we approach the fulfillment of our desires. Instead of simply wishing or hoping for something to happen, this concept teaches that we must mentally and emotionally place ourselves in the state of already having achieved what we want. It's about moving away from the mindset of striving toward a goal, and instead stepping into the reality where the goal has already been accomplished. When you desire to be a millionaire, for instance, living from the end means adopting the mindset, feelings, and behaviors of a person who already has wealth, even before there is any physical evidence to support it. This shift in perception is critical, because most people operate from a place of lack. When you desire something, the natural tendency is to think about it in terms of its absence. If you want more money, for example, you are often focused on the fact that you don't currently have enough. This creates a vibration of lack, and as a result, you continue to attract experiences that confirm that lack. The universe responds to the energy and emotions you project, so when you dwell in the feeling of not having enough, you perpetuate that reality. However, living from the end flips this process. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you focus on the feeling of already having what you want, which shifts your energy and aligns you with the frequency of abundance. The key to living from the end is belief. You must believe that the reality you desire is not just possible, but inevitable. This requires faith in the unseen. Even if your current circumstances show no signs of wealth, you must persist in the assumption that you are already wealthy. You mentally and emotionally dwell in the state of being a millionaire, imagining what your life looks and feels like in this new reality. This is not mere daydreaming or fantasy. The feelings and thoughts you generate in your inner world are real, and they begin to influence your outer world in ways you may not immediately see. When you consistently live from the end, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts whatever you impress upon it. If you constantly feed it thoughts of lack and limitation, it will create situations that reflect those beliefs. But if you impress upon your subconscious the feeling of already being wealthy, it starts to rearrange your outer reality to match that internal state. Opportunities for financial growth begin to appear, relationships with prosperous people emerge, and circumstances that align with wealth start to unfold. The challenge with living from the end is maintaining the feeling of already having what you want, especially when your current reality contradicts it. Doubts, fears, and old patterns of thinking will inevitably arise, tempting you to revert back to a mindset of scarcity. This is where persistence comes in. You must hold on to the feeling of already being wealthy, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. Over time, as you persist in this new state of consciousness, your external world will begin to conform to the wealth you've been dwelling in internally. A practical way to live from the end is through visualization. Visualization is a tool that helps you practice this state of consciousness until it becomes second nature. Every day, take time to sit quietly and vividly imagine your life as a millionaire. What does your day look like? Where do you live? What do you do? How do you feel? Engage all your senses in this process. See the places you go. Hear the sounds around you. Feel the emotions of joy and freedom that come with financial abundance. The more detailed and immersive your visualization, the more real it becomes in your mind, and the more powerful its impact on your subconscious. This doesn't mean spending recklessly or pretending to be something you're not. It means embodying the confidence, the habits, and the decision-making processes of a wealthy person. For instance, someone who is financially abundant doesn't act out of fear or desperation. They make calm, confident decisions because they trust in their ability to generate more wealth. They take calculated risks, they invest in themselves and others, and they operate from a place of security rather than scarcity. When you begin to make decisions from this mindset, you start to attract experiences that reflect that inner security. Living from the end also involves changing your self-concept. If you want to become a millionaire, you must see yourself as one now. This requires a shift in identity. You are no longer someone who is trying to become wealthy. You are someone who already is. You carry yourself with the dignity, confidence, and peace of mind that comes with financial freedom. This new self-concept influences every area of your life, from the way you interact with others to the way you manage your time and resources. When you fully embrace this new identity, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. Another key element is gratitude. Living from the end means being grateful for the wealth you already have, even if it hasn't physically materialized yet. Gratitude is a powerful state of being because it acknowledges that what you desire is already yours. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already possess. This creates a feeling of abundance, which attracts even more abundance into your life. Every time you practice gratitude for your financial success, you strengthen the vibration of wealth within you. The principle of living from the end requires patience and faith. It may take time for your outer reality to catch up with your inner world, but the process is already in motion. As you persist in dwelling in the state of already being wealthy, the universe will begin to align the circumstances of your life to match that inner state. This is not something that can be rushed or forced. It unfolds naturally, as long as you maintain your focus on the end result. The more you practice living from the end, the easier it becomes. Over time, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your reality, as opportunities and resources come to you in ways that seem almost magical. This is the natural result of living in the state of your wish fulfilled. By holding the feeling of already being a millionaire, you bring yourself into alignment with the frequency of wealth, and the universe responds by delivering it to you. The assumption of wealth is a cornerstone in the art of manifesting financial abundance. It rests on the understanding that wealth is not simply a matter of accumulating money or external assets, but is, above all, a mental and emotional state. To truly embody the state of wealth, you must first assume that it is already yours, even if your external circumstances do not yet reflect it. The assumption of wealth requires you to shift your identity from someone who is striving for financial success to someone who already possesses it. This shift in mindset is transformative, as it sets into motion the forces that will bring this internal assumption into external reality. At its core, assuming wealth is about changing your beliefs and self-concept. Most people live their lives believing they are defined by their current financial situation. If they have little money, they see themselves as poor or struggling. This mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The subconscious mind, which governs much of our behavior, operates based on the assumptions and beliefs we feed it. If you continue to assume that you are limited or lacking in resources, your subconscious will create conditions that reflect those beliefs. But if you assume the identity of a wealthy person, if you believe that you are already rich, your subconscious begins to align your actions, decisions, and opportunities with that belief. The process of assuming wealth involves creating a mental image of yourself as someone who has already achieved financial abundance. This image must be clear, vivid, and detailed. What does the version of you who is wealthy look like? How does this person carry themselves? How do they make decisions? What is their attitude toward money? The more specific you can be in answering these questions, the more powerful your assumption becomes. This mental picture becomes your new self-concept, and you must fully commit to it. Once you adopt this image of yourself as a wealthy person, you must act, think, and feel in accordance with it. One of the most powerful aspects of the assumption of wealth is that it works independently of your current financial situation. Your outer world may not yet reflect the abundance you seek, but that does not matter. What matters is the assumption you hold in your inner world. When you consistently assume the state of wealth, your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors begin to shift. You start to notice opportunities that align with your new self-concept, and you take actions that are in harmony with being wealthy. This is because the mind is highly suggestible and will adapt to whatever reality you impress upon it. The assumption of wealth, when sustained over time, has the power to override any external limitations or obstacles. Assuming wealth also requires a deep level of faith and persistence. It's easy to assume wealth when things are going well, but the real test comes when you face challenges or setbacks. In those moments, you must continue to hold on to the belief that you are already wealthy, even if your external world seems to contradict it. This is where most people falter. They allow temporary circumstances to shake their belief in their assumption. But to truly manifest wealth, you must remain steadfast in your assumption. regardless of what is happening around you. The outer world is always a reflection of your inner state, and it will eventually conform to match the assumption of wealth you hold within. The assumption of wealth is not about pretending or faking it until you make it. It is about embodying the energy and mindset of someone who is already financially abundant. This means developing the habits, attitudes, and behaviors that are consistent with wealth. For example, a wealthy person is typically confident in their ability to create and manage money. They don't operate from a mindset of scarcity or fear, but rather from a place of security and trust in their financial abilities. When you assume wealth, you must adopt these same qualities. You begin to make decisions from a place of confidence, knowing that you have the resources and the capability to succeed. People who struggle financially often have a negative or fearful relationship with money. They see it as something scarce, hard to come by, or even something that eludes them. These negative beliefs about money create an energetic block that prevents financial abundance from flowing into their lives. On the other hand, those who assume wealth see money as a natural, abundant resource. They believe that money is always available to them, and that they have the ability to attract it effortlessly. When you assume wealth, you must cultivate a positive, healthy relationship with money. See it as a tool that enhances your life, rather than something you must chase or struggle to obtain. Gratitude plays a significant role in the assumption of wealth. When you are grateful for the wealth you already have, whether it's financial wealth, relationships, opportunities, or other forms of abundance, you send a powerful signal to the universe. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of abundance, and as a result, more wealth flows into your life. Even if your current financial situation isn't ideal, you can still find things to be grateful for. This attitude of gratitude reinforces your assumption of wealth and attracts more of it into your experience. It's a practice that shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, which amplifies the vibration of abundance. The assumption of wealth also impacts how you approach opportunities. When you see yourself as already wealthy, you naturally attract opportunities that match that assumption. You become more attuned to chances for financial growth and success. You also become more confident in taking risks and pursuing opportunities that align with your self-concept as a wealthy person. The wealthy mindset does not fear loss or failure because it operates from a place of abundance. This doesn't mean reckless behavior, but rather a calm, assured approach to opportunities that you know are in alignment with your inner state of wealth. It's important to note that the assumption of wealth doesn't happen overnight. It is a process that requires consistency and practice. You must consciously choose to embody this state every day, reinforcing it with your thoughts, emotions, and actions. As you persist in assuming wealth, it becomes your new normal. The old patterns of lack and limitation begin to fade away, and the energy of abundance takes their place. Over time, this inner transformation will manifest as external wealth, whether through new business opportunities, unexpected financial windfalls, or simply an improved financial situation. Persistence of thought is one of the most crucial principles when it comes to manifesting wealth or any desired outcome in life. The process of creation, whether it's material wealth or a new life circumstance, is not an instantaneous event. It requires time, focus, and most importantly, the ability to hold on to the assumption of your desire fulfilled even in the face of contrary evidence. Persistence of thought means maintaining the inner conviction that you are already wealthy, that the reality you seek is already yours, regardless of what your current situation looks like. This mental steadfastness is what allows the invisible power of your thoughts to shape and mold your external reality. When you first adopt the assumption of being a millionaire, for instance, it might feel foreign or even unrealistic, especially if your present financial situation doesn't reflect this belief. At this point, many people falter because they expect immediate changes or tangible evidence to affirm their new belief. However, the subconscious mind and the external world don't always respond instantaneously. Persistence is required to maintain the belief that you are wealthy, despite what your five senses may tell you. Every great accomplishment in life requires persistence, and this is especially true when it comes to mastering the power of thought. Thoughts are creative forces, but they need time to gestate and manifest. When you persist in holding a particular thought or assumption, you give it the energy and focus it needs to materialize in your life. If you entertain a thought briefly and then abandon it when challenges arise, you weaken its power. Persistence is about continuously feeding your subconscious mind the same idea of wealth and success until it becomes so ingrained that it cannot help but express itself in your external reality. Just as a seed requires time and care to grow into a plant, your thoughts need the same nurturing to bloom into physical reality. One of the biggest obstacles to persistence is doubt. It's natural for doubt to arise, especially when you don't see immediate results. Your mind may start to question whether your assumptions are realistic or whether this process is even working. In those moments, it's easy to slip back into old patterns of thinking that reflect lack, limitation, or fear. However, the key to persistence is to push through these moments of doubt. Remind yourself that the outer world is slow to reflect changes in the inner world, and that just because you don't see immediate evidence doesn't mean your assumption of wealth isn't working. Faith in the process is essential for persistence.